Happy holidays from the Coach's Corner. It's our 2020 Midway Athletics Coach's Corner Holiday Extravaganza. I am Joe Krupinski, head men's basketball coach. Joined, this is becoming an all too common occurrence. Joined for the entire episode today by our sports information director, the two-time, not defending, but the two-time RSC SID of the year, Dylan Brown. Dylan, welcome into the corner.
Happy to be here. We're last day of work here, so it's home
Well,
for the holidays after this.
Correction for you, Dylan. I thought that was a couple weeks back.
Well, no.
Have you been working? Have you been working lately?
I have been working. So my isolation, for those of you that didn't tune into last week's episode, A, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
And what are you doing? And B, I was in quarantine / isolation. Got out of isolation on the 16th, returned to work on the 17th. Been feeling pretty good ever since.
Well, that's great. That's great. There are some people, however, around here who thought your last day of work was like in September. I mean, I'm not going to mention any names.
I know, right?
I'm not mentioning any names, but that's what I heard.
I know. I understand.
Well, we don't have we didn't have a guest to highlight this week. Any reason why that was, though?
The producer. I don't know.
Is there any truth to the rumor that people were going to come on, and then they saw that last week's episode was all jumbled up with the screen? You know,
that might be true.
The screen was all out of whack. Is that what happened or no?
That might be true. They might have seen that and been like, "That guy doesn't know what he's doing."
Well, we know that's not true, but we did think it was. We promised an episode, and we delivered here at the corner, and we thought it'd be a good time to kind of we've kind of looked back enough, I think, on 2020. It was a challenging year for sure, and we talked a little bit about how our teams are doing, last week in the episode, but we do want to look ahead a little bit and talk about I have a couple updates just recently came out and talk about what the teams are going to be, what's going to look like when we get back here after the new year, and also answer some questions we didn't get to last time. We kind of ran out of time with Tim.
Yep.
So we're going to have a few more questions from some of the viewers to kind of wrap up 2020 here, and it'll be one big extravaganza, Dylan.
Extravaganza. I like it.
The first thing we'll talk about is a quick look back on this semester. I know the academic information came out. The athletic director honor roll was announced. So I know you put a lot of work into that and kind of tabulate all those numbers. Seemed like a pretty good semester yet again for the Midway athletes in the class.
It was. We got another 3.0 for the semester. I want to say that's like I'm not exactly sure. I think it's like 6 or 7 semesters in a row since we've ever started that. So our students, despite all the challenges that they face this semester with the continued pandemic and everything like that, it's good to see that they're still focusing on their athletics. Their academics, getting their work done in the classroom and making the grade that they need to.
Yeah, and I think so we had just some quick numbers here. A 3.1 overall department GPA, correct, from all the teams.
Yes.
We had 16 teams that had a 3.0 or above as a team.
Yep.
330 of our athletes were on the athletic director honor roll, which is a 3.0 plus, correct?
3.0.
For the semester. 186 students student athletes made the dean's list, which is a 3.6 or above, and that's obviously irrespective of athletics.
No,
and then,
that number is way up, by the way. Yeah. That dean's list number is way up.
We had 70 perfect 4.0 GPAs.
Yeah.
In athletics. So another great job. It was challenging. It was a little. I think what it does is kind of highlight the benefits of being back here on campus. We were in school and in seat pretty much the entire way this semester, except for the last 2 days.
Yeah.
So I think great job to our athletes, obviously to the staff and the faculty for working so hard to get everybody, get them educated and get them through, and our people responded obviously by showing up in the classroom. So just like they do on the playing fields of the court. So congrats to them. Great job in the classroom.
Absolutely.
And obviously, again, we talked about, so we had I don't have the exact number, but I know we had some graduates, at the break.
Yeah.
Departments that obviously had.
We did have some of those, so we want to congratulate them as well. That's a huge accomplishment.
Caps off to them.
Caps off.
So, but looking forward here, this month in Eagle Athletics coming up in January, a lot of our teams, I know, with the strain, with the semester has obviously been pushed back to January 19th, the start of the academic semester. I know a lot of that's with the pandemic and trying to keep the numbers down and people spaced out, that is going to prevent some of our teams from starting up maybe maybe not a huge delay, but a little bit later than they normally would.
Yep.
I think the 4 teams I think that are going to be back here and competing before we start school again will be men's and women's basketball,
Yep.
wrestling, and esports. Actually, which I think is we're going to talk about that in a second. It's kind of a neat thing here, I think. But just real quick, women's basketball returns right now. They're scheduled to play Mount Vernon Nazarene on this January 2nd. Correct? That's their first game.
Let's hope that happens. Fingers crossed.
I know it's all we're all day to day over here, Don.
Absolutely.
Campbellsville Harrisburg is home on the 5th. There still won't be any fans obviously at that time. And then they start along with us kick off league play, which isn't really league play in the second semester anymore. We'll talk about that too. Against Oakland City at home on the 9th. We are planning on just coming back up for the 9th. We're going to try to get everybody, for those wondering about basketball, we're going to try to get everybody, home and back here healthy through the holiday. And then when we get back, hopefully we can kind of stay contained and get our games in. So our next scheduled contest, which obviously could change, we get games are being added and subtracted all the time.
Ever-changing world.
Ever-changing.
I
think we have a question about that we can get to later in the questions. But also January 9th against Oakland City here for our home opener, which will be the latest the latest home opener.
Exactly. You never thought we'd get to 2021 before you finally got a home opener for the 2020-2021 season.
Yeah, I didn't. I really didn't. And then wrestling, they also come back, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but they come back on January 9th as well. They have a dual meet out at Kentucky Wesleyan in Owensboro against Kentucky Wesleyan in Lincoln.
Yeah. Coach. Speaking of that, real quick, Coach Rumbelow, he had a couple. He lost a couple of his duels, I think, already. So I think he was trying to get some of those because there's not really what wrestling really depends on is they depend on the open tournaments. Right. They depend on that to get their guys ready, and then they haven't been able to do that because it's hard to get everyone together, and because of everything that's going on, it's hard to get everyone together. So he's really depending on those duels to find out what he can about his team. Yeah.
And my favorite, we were just talking about this before the episode, Dylan. Esports is scheduled to kick off on the 9th as well in a League of Legends matchup, which I know we're all on the edge of our seat about, against Campbellsville University.
Yeah.
You're telling me they're going to compete probably from their homes, correct?
From what I was told before the break, I think we might have some like a couple kids that are here. But I think from what last I had heard, they were going to be competing at home in a remote event.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of their events, obviously their events are virtual as it is, but a remote virtual event. That's taking it to a third level, though, not just the next level. That's the third level.
That's upper echelon.
Wow. Well, I know. I'm excited. I can't wait to see one of these. I really don't. I don't know anything about it other than what Coach Tinker talked about last year, but I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Hopefully we can somebody get me on Twitch. Maybe some of my team.
We need to get on Twitch.
I can't figure Twitch out. These one-word apps. I don't know, man.
I can't either. I can't either. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, it is. It is hard to keep up. So that's sort of that's a little bit of a preview. So when we get back here, we'll be able to start highlighting some teams again. Maybe try to get women's basketball on and wrestling and whatnot. And as we look forward to the spring, I know there's still a lot of uncertainty in the in the equestrian programs and. We're hoping to have the new archery coach on, Coach Shea. Yeah. Hoping to get him on so we can talk about archery.
Got to get him on.
That's the one sport we really haven't even highlighted yet.
I know. We'll get him on. We'll get him on.
We got some stuff in the works for the next semester, but
we do.
As we look to improve on the product here. But that's what we got immediately coming forward right after the holiday for Midway. So that's exciting. So Dylan, why don't we, get to a few of our viewer questions that we didn't have time to do last time. There's a holiday bent to a few of them, I think.
There is something that we can do before that if you want to, though.
Well, I wanted to. Okay, we can do that. I was going to.
It's totally up to you.
Well, no. I was. You're starting to when you start asking, Dylan. I know that there's problems. We were going to try to maybe slide that in seamlessly into the show, but no, we'll stop everything. Because that's how we do it now. That's how we roll. Dylan's getting a little too, he's getting a little too much face time, if you will, in these episodes. But yes, Dylan, tell us about The Bachelor.
So the Bachelorette, it ended last night.
Bachelorette, sorry.
Bachelorette.
It's
But
over.
we'll speak on Bachelor here in a second.
Wait, it's completely over?
Bachelorette is now over. It is
Okay.
It is done and over with. It was down to 4 guys. She eliminated 1 after hometowns. Got it down to 3. One guy, kind of like last year, he self-eliminated. He took himself out of the running, and
I think we all agree that guy's the winner.
he is
That guy's the winner of the event.
He is the real
Where
winner.
were some of the hometowns doing? Was there anything?
So they didn't actually go anywhere. They brought people on site. They were at the La Quinta Spa, I think.
Oh, well, that's not.
It wasn't really a hometown.
No,
it wasn't a hometown.
Another casualty of COVID.
Absolutely another casualty of COVID.
All right.
But Zach Clark, he is from I think New York, somewhere around there. He won. He got the final rose. He proposed. Tasha accepted. They're now engaged, and as far as I know, they are still engaged.
Well, so they say. I mean, this is
so
all,
they say. Yeah.
This is,
yeah.
Right.
It seemed like it was a happy ending.
Well, I'm sure the viewers will be. I'm sure viewers like yourself will be. But you probably you like more of the chaos, right?
The chaos is it's fun.
Probably
to watch
more your speed, right?
Yeah, it's fun to watch the chaos. But
all right, well, I'm sure we'll be waiting. I'm sure there'll be. I'm sure another season is right around the corner. It seems like it's always on.
January 4th.
Really?
Debut of The Bachelor. January 4th, the debut of The Bachelor.
Wow.
I know you're looking forward to it.
I can't wait. Brutal. All right. So what are some of the questions we got?
All right. So let's see here. Let's try and keep it in Midway Athletics here.
Okay.
Here to start.
Okay.
From Craig in Iowa.
Okay.
He's seen the River States Conference softball. Preseason polls are out. Midway
the poll is out.
Finished 4th.
We were picked 4th. The poll it just came out. I think it was last week. Midway picked 4th in the preseason poll. So that's great. I know one of the things we talked about with the spring, a lot of the it's going to be interesting to see because obviously the spring season got cut really short last year.
Yep.
A lot of those seniors weren't charged a year and came back.
Yeah.
Correct. So it's a very similar teams to last year with some additions. So
I'm not sure that any of the seniors. I don't know this for sure. I don't think any of the softball seniors came back from last year.
Okay.
Which is understandable.
Yep.
So that's completely. But in talking with Coach Swisher, he was excited to be picked 4th. It was about what he thought he would be.
Okay.
I know it was really close between us and Point Park, who was picked to finish 3rd. I think there was only a couple votes difference, so we could have very easily been picked to finish 3rd. The softball program has come a long way here in the last couple of years from when I first got here, even from since then and before then, it's come a long way.
Yeah. Well, they obviously made a national tournament appearance a couple of years ago, and then was on its way to having a pretty good season last year, I think. Mm-hmm. So they got to be excited. It's 4 out of how many River State's teams participate in softball now, Dylan? I know it varies. All the additions to the league and stuff. I think
it's 10 or 11. 10 or 11 with the addition of Oakland City this year.
Right.
I can't remember.
Great to see you're right up on top of things here. Information information regarding sports. You'd think we'd have the whole department about that. You would think there'd be a department that would deal with that, but maybe
you would think the sports information director would know that, but
I don't know. Well,
I've been out of the loop here.
Shame on me. Yeah. All right. So softball is finished 4th, and looking forward to a great start. And again, all those teams, all the spring teams will start ramping up as soon as we get back. I think.
Yeah. And then we'll hopefully, if the producer can do his job, get them on the show before they start their season.
We'll cross our fingers.
In February. Cross our fingers. Yep, cross your fingers. So we talked about softball. Let's get to Jan in PA. She wants to know, she's seen the baseball team was picked to finish 5th in the preseason poll.
The baseball preseason poll,
thoughts on that? I think it was about where Coach Bramblett expected.
Yeah, I mean, so often these preseason polls are really, just a shot in the dark. I mean, nobody really knows who has what, who's going to make it through the first semester healthy, academically. Obviously, we had a really good start to the semester last year here at home. We beat sweeping Rio, correct?
Swept Rio.
And then, and then it kind of went from there, and then got shut down. So it's a little tougher to tell. We're all looking forward to a full season out on the new field there. And as always, I think it comes down to, this is my very layman's knowledge of college baseball and softball, but it's really so much about pitching.
It absolutely is about pitching.
It comes down to who can you throw out there every other day, and what type of arms you got, and that a lot of times that determines where your team finishes. It's
absolutely about that, and then you also hit on eligibility and stuff like that, and then you've also got to predict. You don't know who teams are going to bring in at the break. They're looking for midseason transfers to come in at the winter break. So
that's right.
You never know.
And it's again the year now. Yeah, it's really strange. Has there been any alternate has the schedule's been altered at all for the spring sports in terms of like a trip? Are the trips kind of out this year because of COVID, or do we know?
I don't really know. I haven't seen either one of the schedules, but I know Coach Bramblett, he normally opens up that first weekend in February. He normally goes down to Mobile, Alabama. He's not going to Mobile this year.
Yep.
He's that first weekend. He's not playing that first weekend, and part of that is because of the COVID, but also you've got to factor in that his team's not going to be here until 2 weeks than they normally would.
Yeah, that's right. You're getting back late. You got to ramp up physically. I think it's, for the health, obviously we're all concerned. And not only for the COVID, but with the COVID, but with, like in our team, just being the health and safety of the athletes, getting back into return to play in shape is of utmost importance to us. So
yeah,
I can see where that would be the case.
But I think those other 3 weekends in February, I think he's planning right now.
Yep.
Barring any winter weather or anything like that.
Yeah, we all know that schedule's worth just like basketball this year, it's worth the paper it's written.
It's funny you mentioned basketball. Craig in Iowa. Another question from Craig in Iowa. Can you explain what the Midway basketball schedule will look like after the break?
Well, Craig, I cannot. I cannot. I really can't.
I don't think anyone can.
I don't think anybody knows. There's still a lot of discussions on the league level, I think, about what's going to happen. I don't remember if we had this news last week when we taped. I think we did, about the IU schools.
Yeah.
The IU branch campuses are not competing in January. Hopefully back in February 1st. So that we lost 2 games there. Us and the women, we had to reschedule. We're trying to reschedule those right now. I think the Kokomo game we have. We're still working on the Southeast one. We're trying to add some other games as we speak. We're all just kind of, I think the conference tournament format is still being discussed. There's a lot of different iterations of that, I think. A lot of this is dependent on the national tournament still happening. If that doesn't happen for some reason, then the conference schedule could change. There's so many factors to consider, just with the different areas, because the health department areas, the health in Pennsylvania is different than the ones in Indiana, which is different than decisions being made in Ohio and Kentucky. And even within Kentucky, the Owensboro, the Davis County decisions are different than the Woodford County decisions.
Yeah.
So right now, you watch the website. It's the best thing I can tell you for men's and women's basketball.
Watch the website.
We've added another game at UC Claremont, I believe, for January 11th. I think, or 14th.
14th?
14th, I think.
I can't remember.
I think it's the 14th. But I don't know. If I had to guess right now, I would say a lot of the league games are not going to be. I don't know if we're going to have league game designation.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be getting our season in. We're going to be going to the tournament, hopefully in the conference, and hopefully if we win that, we'll be in the national tournament if that happens. I think, but it's certainly a day-by-day approach, and I think we're all just excited to get back and start up the season again as much as best as we can.
Yeah, and it's something that we talked about before the break. I don't know if we really necessarily discussed it on the show, but the fact that we're even actually attempting to play and actually got fall sports in and trying to get winter sports in, that's something that we should all be absolutely proud of. I know we want to play, but the fact that we even just get to play, that's great to see our student athletes able to compete.
We're further ahead than a lot of the other levels. We're further ahead. Like some of the schools in Oregon just haven't played all year. And may not. So, very fortunate. So, but Again, watch the website. Provide
Just
Dylan
watch
updates.
the website.
Provide Dylan updates for the correct times and places.
Let's hope so.
You'll be able to know where the games are.
Let's
right
hope
now,
so.
it's all up.
It's all up in the air.
What else? What else do we get?
Let's get to some holiday stuff here.
It is the Holiday Extravaganza.
Holiday Extravaganza. We got to make sure we get some of those from the Eagles Roost tailgate.
Okay.
They got a couple questions. Are Brussels sprouts an appropriate side dish for a Christmas dinner?
Ooh.
And what food are you most looking forward to over the holidays?
As we talked about last year, I think they sent in this question last year's extravaganza. And I'm not much of a food guy in that regard. Yep. I would say Brussels sprouts are never appropriate.
No.
For any holiday.
I gotta agree.
I'm not, to each their own. I mean, if you want to serve them, that's great. But most looking forward to, I don't know. I think we usually try to have like some sort of roast, the prime rib roast for holidays. We try to do a lot of the the cookies and the.
Got to get the desserts in.
Yeah, those sort of things. I think it's not quite the food gorging that Thanksgiving is, but it's still it should make for a good dinner.
Yeah.
What's happening to the Brown household, Dylan? What's some of the Brown holiday traditions?
We really don't. We try and get together. Me and my brothers and sisters. We try and get together on Christmas Eve and exchange gifts and do all that. So looking forward to that and. Looking forward to celebrating the holidays safely. We want to reiterate that. Be safe over the holidays. Mask up.
Particularly where the COVID's running rampant at the Brown compound.
Whoa, now I think it's run its course.
All right. Well, I just want to
run its course.
I hope so.
It's run its course.
I don't want to have the Nelson County people outside your house.
Let's hope not. Let's see. Jane in PA.
Okay.
She says, I know Midway doesn't have a football team. We do not.
We don't.
I have a football team.
Thank goodness.
What are you looking forward to about the upcoming bowl season? Do you try and watch any of the bowl games or anything like that?
I don't know. Most of our time this time of year, we're kind of focused on the basketball, obviously, our own teams, and trying to get prepared for our for the season that we hopefully have.
Yeah.
A little bit of this downtime has given me a chance to watch some other college games,
Mm-hmm.
some of my friends' teams and things like that around the country. And try to pick some things up, so that's been exciting. As far as bowl season, wake me when it's over. I'll watch the playoffs. I know. I was glad. I guess Army is getting to play in a bowl now.
Army is getting to play,
and I think that's like people who are 3-7 going to a bowl. Like, there were too many bowls to begin with. So maybe that's a good thing here, Dylan. We're purging some of the useless bowls.
I think last I had heard they've had like four bowl games canceled. So
I think a lot of teams, they did so much
hard to play
to get the season in.
Yeah.
That again, it's a health. I mean, a lot as coaches, we're all nuts, so they probably want that spring practice, the extra practice.
Mm-hmm.
But health and safety wise, I don't even know if it's worth it. So I think a lot of teams are just going to regroup and look forward to the spring. So I don't know. I think we already had a bowl, right? Didn't we have a bowl yesterday or today?
I think we've already had 3 or 4.
We've already had a couple.
I think there's a couple more today, but
they're going to put them on TV. I can tell you that.
That is for sure. Craig in Iowa. Another question from Craig in Iowa. He's on fire today.
I guess so.
He's on fire today.
Yeah.
What's your go-to Christmas movie?
Well, again, I'm not much of a movie guy either, but I think the real answer, the correct answer here is Charlie Brown Christmas, correct?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a classic.
That is
Frosty. Rudolph.
Yeah.
You got to go to those. Those are the ones you got to go to. And then A Christmas Story will be probably
A Christmas Story.
TNT
Always
again.
got that.
So I guess that's if you have those on a loop, I think you're in good shape.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any?
I'm a fan of Home Alone. I like that one. That one's funny. It always gets everyone laughing. I'm always laughing like a hyena watching those movies. So, but then you've also got the classics, Christmas Story, Charlie Brown Christmas. So you've got to get a good mix there.
Miracle on 34th Street, Wonderful Life, those sort of things. That's a little before my time too. But I'm gonna stick with Charlie Brown. Can't go wrong with it.
No. Let's see. Last question that I think I've got here from Jan in PA. What are the possibilities of a Bears sighting over the holidays?
Well, I'll tell you, if it's anything based on the social media things I see, it's probably about 100%.
Absolutely.
Everywhere, the Bears are everywhere.
They're taking over.
And they're on commercials. I mean, yeah. So I would say be careful.
Be
careful out there.
Get big.
Get big.
Get big.
You got to get big. When you see a bear, get big. And then remember, if you get attacked, you got to play dead.
Play dead.
Get big pre-attack. They attack you, play dead.
Play dead. And if you're with someone, you've just got to make sure you outrun them.
You don't have to outrun there. You just got to outrun the guy next.
Just got to outrun the one next to you.
But another health. It's easy to forget about the bear attacks when we're worried about all this other stuff. But yeah, you always want to keep that at the forefront.
Got to watch out for the bears. There's some scary bears out there. Get big. Just remember, get big.
Well, I think glad we get in some of those other questions and at least have an update here for the people. I know everybody's been this is the episode nobody asked for, but we gave it to you anyway.
Yep.
This kind of a look ahead here. We're looking forward to, hopefully, again, when we get into the new year, having a little bit more activity, more just time from the student athletes to come on and the teams and get more spotlights, more activity with them. Hopefully, again, we'll be ramping up to some spring seasons. We'll be able to get those teams on and talk to some of their players. So, I think the best is yet to come for Coach's Corner this school year, Dylan. Well, everybody out there, make sure you tune in. Watch. I want to obviously wish everybody out there, Dylan. As much as we get on Dylan, he's really an invaluable member of the department. I want to thank him for all his hard work, and especially with all this stuff going on. He's had we have so many more home events than we have in the past. So him and Robbie Shea and everybody who's really and the student workers who have had to be here to get the games moving, and they have. So I want to appreciate them. Happy holidays, Dylan, obviously, and everybody out there, all the faculty, staff, and students at Midway. Certainly appreciate their help. Yep. Dylan, I think it was a pretty good show.
I think it's been a pretty good show too. I mean, the producer he let everyone down a little bit this week, but it's been a pretty good show.
That's kind of understood, yes. But regardless, we pulled it together. We had a show. Yep. And obviously, it's the holiday season.
Yep.
Which means it's time for family. But again, this year gathering, we want to encourage all of our student athletes, especially with all of our viewers and our students, to try to be as safe as you can over the break. Get tested. Make sure when you come back here, whether you're coming back early for sports or coming back on the 19th, that you are COVID free, hopefully, and as quarantined as much as you can. We couldn't get LL. We couldn't get LL here to for that message. We couldn't even get Flappy here.
We couldn't
get Flappy to come back and give the COVID prevention message. But we have LL's cousin LJ. I think LJ is here.
LJ.
And LJ wants to remind you to wear your mask so we can all be back here safely. Wear your mask, all right? And we'll be back here safely next year on the Coach's Corner.
Happy holidays, everyone.